Today on the show, we're going to continue our weekly Batman Eternal recap. So this week's issue is actually very short. The comic's actually divided into two, half Batman Eternal and half preview for Superman 32. So this week's issue starts out with Batwing fighting Gentleman Ghost. And then Batman explains to Batwing that yes, there are indeed creatures of the occult in Gotham, which I really like because Batwoman's whole thing is fighting the occult, and I like that other members of the Bat family are now accepting that yes, the occult exists. Especially because so many people expect a storyline that's like, no, it's not magic, it's science, when we know for sure that magic does exist in the DC universe. So a storyline like that would just kind of be pointless. Next we go to the Wayne Manor, and Jim Corrigan, who for all of you that don't know is currently inhabited by the Spectre, is visiting and he wants to talk to Bruce. Jim basically says that there's some dark magic shenanigans going on in Gotham, and all the death from the gang war is feeding the magic. So Bruce agrees to send one of his agents to work with Jim. Next we go into Arkham, and a doctor is taking a patient somewhere, and it turns out this patient is having this same dream over and over and over again, but the doctor has injected the patient with something that makes it impossible for the patient to deny the doctor. Then we see that the doctor is actually following the command of Dula Dent, and Dula Dent is doing something to summon the Man in Black. So the patient has to have his arm chopped off and has to be put in a maze, because he's having some dream and that shows he's got the potential. I like Dula Dent, I think she's a great character, but I would have never imagined her going with the occult. So if this works, it's going to be very impressive, and if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be surprised. Next we see Batwing meeting up with Jim, and I really like this scene because Batwing is all like, so Bruce told me you have a divine spirit in you or something like that? I mean, I'm guessing he didn't mean literally, and Jim is like, no, totally literally. I also have to say, I really do like the art on this page in particular. It really feels like Adam's Family meets early Batwoman comics. And I really love the early Batwoman comics, so I'm obviously gonna love this page. Then we see Batman speeding around Gotham, skipping sleep again because he has to save people. Meanwhile, the glowing skeleton from a few issues ago is sneaking around in the sewers of Gotham, and it touches what appears to be some flammable nuclear waste and causes an explosion, and the issue ends. And the next issue is going to be Piggy, Piggy, Pig. And then the preview of Superman number 32. I mean, do I even need to say it at this point? Really? Really? Really, briefs? Really? Yeah, this week's issue was kind of short, and that does happen occasionally with weekly issues because there is so much work to do, and sometimes they can't do all the work, so they do have to compress an issue and then put in a preview of an issue of another comic that they're already working on. And I'm kind of fine with that. I feel like this series is really setting it up so it doesn't really necessarily have to be about Batman anymore. And we could be looking at a weekly detective comic kind of series. How it works is basically occasionally the star of Detective Comics will change. My favourite run on Detective Comics is actually when Batwoman was the star. Nonetheless, this issue was really short, and I don't really have a solid opinion on it because it was so short. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. What was your opinion on Batman Eternal issue number 6? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more recaps, and also don't forget to support the show by checking out my Patreon, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.